Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexis, and on this channel, I think out loud. I add my 2 cents to already viral conversations, and in the best case scenario, we all learn something new and we walk away with something.
I'm leaving here with something.
My video today is going to center this TikTok creator named Farah Amara. So this TikTok creator came forward with a story regarding a past friendship. So she used to have a friend she admits that she was jealous of. She eventually broke up the friendship, and she describes it as something that was necessary because she herself just couldn't keep going with the friendship because she was so jealous. I'm going to play her initial video and just let it play out, and I'm going to give a little bit of a commentary and some of the things that I picked up, and some of the things that I didn't really hear anybody else talk about. And I'm going to go ahead and play her reaction to all the reactions that she received to her first video. So she actually made two videos that I know of regarding this topic of her being a jealous friend. The first video, she posted it, she admitted to being jealous, people reacted, and then she came back with like a follow-up. So I'm going to go ahead and play the first video, give you guys a little bit of a commentary, and then I'm gonna play the reaction video, her reaction video, and I'm gonna be pausing her reaction video along the way and giving my 2 cents. So go ahead and watch this video, and let's talk when we get back.
Something that I've been wanting to talk about on here is jealousy within friendships, but not as in, oh, my friend is jealous of me, but from the perspective of being the friend who is jealous. I had a friend that I used to be friends with. We're not friends anymore. And you know what? For good reason, because genuinely, I don't think I could continue being their friend because of the fact that I honestly was just jealous of them. I luckily did not treat this person like trash. I know that typically when you are jealous of somebody, jealousy is just like so it just takes so much energy out of you. It's so hateful. And I know that a lot of the times when people are jealous of other people, they treat them horribly. They're just very rude to them. I knew that being jealous of this person was a waste of my energy, and I hated feeling that way. And it was something that I really, really struggled with. So that's why I want to talk about it. I'm glad that I didn't treat this person like trash because I was at least aware that like jealousy is just like so consuming. But again, I just wanted to kind of talk about this. I am not very happy with where I am at in life currently. I have not been happy with my life for the past couple of years. And I was friends with somebody who was literally living like my dream life that I wish that I was living like at that time. Like they weren't necessarily like living the dream life that like I envisioned for like the future, like that kind of life. Like they're living like a life that like is just like very far ahead of mine, but like where they currently were at with their life is like where I wish I was currently at with my life. And mind you, this person did not have to do anything to gain this lifestyle. They just kind of had this life handed to them. Hence why I was just very jealous of them because it's not like they had to work towards it or anything. Like that's just their life. That's just what they had. And it really, really sucked. To kind of put it more into perspective, like how intense it was, let's say this is kind of going to be a bad example because I'm going to list things that like you do have to work for in life to achieve it, but I want you to just kind of like imagine it from the mindset of like, okay, they didn't have to do anything and this is just their life. Imagine I wanted to be a lawyer and I wanted to live in this specific town. I wanted to have this kind of specific lifestyle and I wanted to drive like this specific kind of car. Okay. That friend that I was friends with had all of that. Like they were the lawyer. They lived in the town that I wished to live in. They had the lifestyle that I dreamt of. Like they just had every single thing that I wanted for my life and they didn't have to do anything about it. I think this angle is a little bit better. Just imagine being friends with somebody like that when you are just like so unhappy with your life and they're just walking around every day with the life that you wish that you had. It almost just feels like it's a slap in the face, but like it's not because that's just their life. And whenever this friend would just like talk about their life like so casually, like it was just so hard for me to just like not feel so bitter because it's like you don't even understand like how lucky you are to have this kind of life and it's just like the normal for you, like your life is so casual to you and it's just something that like I just can't have. I say that like they don't realize how lucky they are to have their life, but I honestly do think one of the reasons why I was so jealous of them is because of the fact they actually did kind of acknowledge that they lived a decently nice life, and the fact that they were grateful for their life and they were happy with their life made me all the more jealous because it's like, okay, well, you're so happy and grateful for your life. Like, of course you are. Like, of course you are. Obviously, like, we should want people to be grateful and thankful for, like, really good lives, but I don't know. Like, it really just, like, added to the jealousy because I know that if I was living that lifestyle, if I had that kind of life, I would also be very, very grateful and happy. And I think because of the fact that they were so happy with it and they were comfortable with their life and happy with it, it just, I guess like the happier they were with their life, the more bitter it made me. And obviously, that's just not a good thing. That's very unhealthy. And I don't want to have to feel that way about a friend, but that's just how I felt about this person. I wouldn't really consider myself a jealous person. I'm not really that jealous of people. Like, I'm like jokingly like jealous of some people that like live like a lifestyle that I want. But I feel like because of the fact that this was like a close personal friend of mine, I guess, it just made it all the more worse. And I really am not kidding to you when I tell you like this person like had what I wanted for my life like that badly, like to a T, like literally every single thing down. They just had like it was actually insane how crazy like even like little things that I wish I had they had. Like it was so crazy. I wanted to be them so bad and I knew that I couldn't. And they just ugh. That friend and I did end our friendship. We ended on mutual terms. We ended on good terms, which I am thankful for. There really is no bad blood between us. And the reason why we ended our friendship had nothing to do with me being jealous of them. Actually, they never knew that I had a jealousy issue towards them. So, I think about that and then I just think about the fact that, you know what, like, it is such a good thing that like we are not as close as we once used to be and just not anymore because I really don't think I could have gotten to a point where I was just fine with them, like not being jealous of them. And I feel like the only way that I would just not be jealous of them is if I had a better lifestyle, and I just don't. I don't wish the worst for this person. I don't wish anything bad on this person, but I just cannot keep around somebody like that in my life, knowing how unhappy I am with my life currently. And like, I just don't think I would have ever gotten to a point where I wouldn't be jealous of them, to be honest.
Okay, so you all watch that, and I would like for you all to even pause this video and sit with that and let that marinate a little bit, especially for those of you who have never watched this video before. I mean, the video went viral, and I myself have left TikTok, so this video is not something that I myself was able to access. I had to download it from other content creators' videos. I'm saying this to say I'm not sure if she have I don't know if she's on TikTok still. I don't know if she still has the videos up on TikTok. You all can go check for yourself. I don't know if she made other reaction videos that I'm just not aware of. But as you guys can see, that's the first video that she made. And you can go ahead and let me know what you think of that in the comment because I'm gonna be letting you know what I think. First and foremost, I think a lot of people get jealousy and envy mixed up. So because of her video, I went ahead and I looked up the definition of jealousy and envy on Merriam-Webster. So according to Merriam-Webster, jealous, the term jealous means being hostile. Like being jealous is being hostile to a rival or one believed to enjoy an advantage. Based on her video, she said she wasn't hateful or hostile towards that friend. So, I mean, at least according to the Merriam Webster definition of what jealous is, she wasn't actually jealous because she said she wasn't hostile. She never showed any hate towards that friend. She kind of resented the fact that her friend did not have to really work for what her friend had. Those are her words. At least that's what she insinuated, right? According to Merriam Webster as well, the term envy is described as a painful or resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another joined with a desire to possess the same advantage. Based on her definition of how she felt for her former friend, she's more envious, at least based on what the Merriam-Webster dictionary is telling us. She was more resentful and felt pain towards an advantage that her friend had, and she also wanted what her friend had. She had desire and wanted to have what her friend had. But she says she never really hated her friend and never treated her friend badly. A lot of people do get that wrong. A lot of people get mixed up in between jealousy and envy, and they just kind of describe jealousy as envy and envy as jealousy. I just wanted to point that out because that's the first thing that came to mind. So many people react to what we post on the internet, and we do not want them to misunderstand us because of some type of a miscommunication from our part. So I wish she would have at least checked out those definitions, understand her feelings before coming on the internet and telling us what they were. So that's first and foremost. Next, what I really wanted, what I really wanted from her was to give us a very detailed, thorough description of the friend in question she's talking about. Like her story is the prime definition of one-sided. Like we don't know anything about the other party involved. We don't know anything at all. Like how they look, their socioeconomic status. We don't know anything. We don't know exactly what that friend had that she claimed that she didn't. We don't even know where she met the friend. I don't know. She never told us where she met the friend. At some part in her reaction video, she gives an idea of your age range and when they met. But she still doesn't talk about the details of when they met. Was she jealous of her friend before they became friends? Was she jealous after they became friends? Did she become friends with that friend because she thought that friend was maybe beneath her or equal to her and then eventually found out that friend had it better than her and that's why she's jealous? Like, how do you end up becoming friends with someone you're jealous of? I really wanted her to go into the story of your friendship. A lot of people just blindly related to her. I wish there was more details. I wish there was more details about what it is about the friend that she's so jealous of. I just wish there was more description of the friend, more description and details about your friendship from the start, more examples as to what that friend had, what that friend was doing that made her jealous. Next, I have to put this out there because out of all the reactions that I saw and heard, I didn't see anybody mention our current political climate. People might not see it that way, but the courage of even coming out and putting yourself out there as being this jealous friend. A lot of evil things are allowed, are permitted. A lot of people are more open with things like your racism, your sexism, the xenophobia. Just the toxic energy is heavy. And before, people were ashamed of being openly bad or having negative sentiments. It's poisonous. It drags people down. If you don't know how to control it, it can become very toxic, not just to you but your environment. And I really do believe that because of this current very toxic political climate that we are in, people who have negative feelings are comfortable coming to the forefront with your negative thoughts and feelings. People have just been a little more bold with just things that were not acceptable before, things that would have usually made them look bad, rhetoric and ideas and sentiments that would have been judged as negative are now being pushed to the forefront, and people are just more comfortable being their negative selves. I really do believe that our current political climate encourage not just her making a video like that, but a lot of the people who agree with her. That's just a thought. Next, what I like the most about her video was the self-awareness. She's aware that she's jealous or she has negative feelings. However, I didn't see any solutions from her. It just seems like she was willing to admit that she was jealous, but there was no real effort to really do anything about it. I don't think she is gonna put in any work to heal. Breaking up a friendship doesn't mean you're not jealous anymore. Is she gonna continuously break up friendships when she's jealous? I mean, there are ways to heal from that type of feeling or sentiment. I think jealousy comes from comparing yourself to others. So when people learn how to not compare themselves to others, that might help them with your jealousy. There are ways to heal from it. There are ways to fix it. I just don't trust that she's doing what it takes to get out of that. She needs some serious counseling. And I don't think she even sees how much counseling she needs. I think she really thinks that cutting off a friend was like a good solution, like something to be proud of. And a lot of people who are jealous, just like her, sided with her. But no, if you have that type of feeling, you need to do what it takes to heal from it and not feel that way anymore. or at least learn how to being able to control and manage those feelings without having to destroy whole friendships and break up with people. Because guess what? If you're a jealous person, you might find yourself in a position where you cannot necessarily break up with somebody, like for example at work or your neighbor. Are you gonna just move out of a neighborhood because you're jealous of a neighbor, for example? Are you gonna quit a job because you're jealous of a coworker that you have to see every day, living your best life? So it's better to put in the work to heal from it than just talk about it. She already has the self-awareness. I just really hope she invests in the counseling to heal from it. I also want to add that she talked about jealousy. I noticed that in the video, she never gave us a full comparison of her life versus her friend's life. Because the possibility that there were things about her life that her friend would love to have as well or would be jealous of, it's not null and void. Like it's not nothing burger. Anybody can be a victim of jealousy. There might have been things that she had that her friend would have loved to have, and you just never know. Her friend might have been jealous of some aspect of her life, and maybe her friend just had a better way of controlling that, and she herself never knew. Like, jealousy is not just reserved for people who have materialistic things. Like, jealousy can also be directed towards people who have nothing. Anybody can be a victim of jealousy. You could just be somebody who is confident and people are jealous. Like you could be poor and have nothing in the bank and you're unemployed, but you just wake up every day confident, and that makes people who have jobs and have all the money in the world jealous of you. So anybody can be jealous of anyone. The first move towards becoming a jealous person is comparing yourself to others. We usually don't compare ourselves to people who are doing less than us or people who we think are beneath us. We compare ourselves to people who are either equal to us or people who are better than us. I wonder if she ever did a full comparison chart or something in between her and her friend to kind of measure up what she has that the friend doesn't have and vice versa. It seemed like she was just fixated on what the friend has and what she doesn't have. She will probably not know when somebody's envious or jealous of her because her focus is on her friend. But if the focus was on both of them, even if she wants to compare, I mean, it's still toxic to compare, but it's still better than jealousy, in my opinion, because when you compare both and you really do consider the things that you have that the next person doesn't have, it takes away that jealousy because there are really things about you that somebody else would want to have. I didn't hear her compare herself to her friend enough. It's almost as if she was just a loser. She had a victim mindset. She had that type of victim mindset of thinking that she has nothing, and it's like you just don't know that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things about her that somebody else would envy. I think she should have did a fair comparison in between her and her friend. Okay, so that was my 2 cents to her initial video. So now I'm gonna go ahead and share the reaction video with you all, and I'll probably be pausing at some point and giving my take on some of the things that she's saying that caught my attention. This is the reaction video after she received a little bit of backlash.
Hi everyone, this is a follow-up video to the video that I posted a couple days ago about my jealousy towards one of my friends. That video blew up and it's getting a lot of, I don't really know how to explain it. It's getting kind of good reviews, kind of bad reviews, and I just have a lot of things to clear up about that video. One of the questions that I got asked the most in my comment section was about the example that I gave about imagine that this person was a lawyer. Everybody is taking it as my friend actually was a lawyer. My friend was not a lawyer. Okay, I obviously know you have to go to school, study for that, pass the bar exam, all that stuff to become a lawyer. I was literally giving an example. I guess I maybe should have been more clear in my video and have said, hey, my example is a not real example because my friend was not a lawyer. I said in the video that it was going to be a bad example. I'm obviously not going to air out like my friend's like personal business, like the personal things that they had that I was jealous of. So I'm glad we can clear that one up now. My friend was not a lawyer. I was giving an example. It's not real. You were just supposed to visualize it as if they did not have to work for that and that's just what they had. The second thing that I really wanted to talk about that I feel like I didn't do a good enough job elaborating on in my video was towards the end of the video when I talked about my friend. The happier and grateful that they were with their life, the more that they like expressed it to me that they were happy and grateful with their life, the more upset I would get, like the more upset I would be when I would hear how happy they were. It kind of had everything to do with me and not really more so to do with them. The reason why I felt those feelings whenever they would talk about how happy and grateful they were for their life was simply just because of the fact that the happier that they were with their life and they were expressing it to me, the more I would think about my own life. So the happier and grateful that they were and they were like coming back to me and expressing that, it just made me think of my own life. Like, oh crap, like this is where I'm at with my life. Meanwhile, they are so happy with theirs. So it kind of didn't really have much to do with them. It was more so me. It wasn't me just being like, I don't want you to be happy with your life. You deserve to be miserable. Something else that I wanted to clear up as well is that a lot of people in my comment section are trying to like make it seem like I'm just like a hateful, like hating ass friend to this person and that like I did not want them to have a good life. I never once said in my video that I thought they didn't deserve to have a nice life. I never said that at all. This is why the conversation of like being kind of jealous towards a friend, I feel like needed to be talked about because everybody has this perception that if you're jealous of somebody, then you're a hater, you hate them, you wish the worst for them, you don't want them to have nice things. My friend was a nice person. I genuinely liked being friends with this person. They were a good person. I never once thought to myself, they should not have this life. They do not deserve it. I was just upset that I didn't have certain things in their life that I literally dreamed of having. My friend deserved to have a nice life, and I never wanted that to be taken away from them. It was never a matter of, oh, they have this and I don't have it, so I don't want them to have it. Why do they get to have it and I don't? Like, in some sense, it was kind of like, damn, they get to have this and I don't, but it was never in the sense of like, I wish they didn't have this, they shouldn't have this, they don't deserve it. I never felt that way about my friend.
So she's saying that she never said her friend do not deserve a good life. But I don't know because to me, saying they didn't have to work for what they have insinuated that they did not earn it. So if that friend did not work for what they have and that's why you're jealous, of course people are going to insinuate that you believe that they don't deserve it. You know, she either miscommunicated or she herself doesn't understand her feelings.
There's also a lot of people in my comment section trying to defend my friend that they don't know. Like, how do you know that they didn't work hard for their life? Like, how do you know this? I bet they did work hard. You don't know anything. And that's just really funny because you actually don't know my friend. You don't know anything. This is where the topic of privilege comes into play, which I did not talk about in my video for the sake of just not making my video so freaking long. My friend clearly had a great deal of privilege in their life. I do not have that kind of privilege that my friend had. And they had every little thing that I genuinely wish that I had for my life at that point in time. Like, I wish my life could have been like theirs. I wish circumstances played out differently in my life so that way I could have been living that life that I had wanted since I was like a child. They were literally living a life that I had wanted since I was really young.
So she has a loser mindset, and this is why. Her friend was a good connection to the life that she was dreaming of. She did not have that life, or at least she did not have that life yet, but she was very much in close proximity, meaning she had access to that life. She could learn from the people who were already living the life that she wanted. What I'm trying to say is that she was in close proximity to something that she dreamed of. So in a way, the blessing was very close by. It just says a lot about her mindset that instead of seeing how much of a positive that was, she decided to take it as a negative, became jealous, and eventually broke up a friendship. The energy that I get from her is she is a glass half empty type of girl, even though the glass is also half full. She just thinks about the things that she's lacking. I don't mean to pound on her or be hard on her. She's also very young, so maybe she's going to grow out of it, but I really hope she does because right now she just sounds like a loser who has accepted the position of being a loser.
So to all the people telling me, you don't think they worked hard for your life, for their life, like you don't think they worked hard for their life. Also, I should mention, my friend and I were friends while being very young. We were friends from 18 to 21, 19 to 22 for them. We were still kind of living lives like off of our parents, like what our parents had given us. And they were just handed a great deal of privilege that it was just like, so to the people telling me that I'm wrong because, well, they actually didn't have their life handed to them, you don't know them. And it's like, yes, they did. Like, they are so privileged. If you are somebody that is privileged, then you don't understand why I felt jealous. You don't understand any of it. And you know what? Like, that is okay. Like, I don't hate privileged people. It is okay that some of you did not understand my video and you guys just thought I was like a hateful person. Obviously, that video was not meant for the opposing team. This isn't for the people that had the jealous friend.
Not everybody who had a problem with her video is privileged. For some reason, she seems to believe that the only people who can be on the receiving end of jealousy are people who have amazing lives, whatever it is she calls an amazing life, or whatever it is she considers to be an amazing life. It seems like to her, the only type of people who were against her video or the opposing team, like she says, were people who were privileged and just didn't get it. But what she doesn't understand and what she doesn't seem to realize is that jealousy is not just something that goes towards one specific type of person. There's a lot of people who receive jealousy and they pretty much just so happen to carry your pain with grace. So from the outside, it looks like they have it made, but really, your life is hard. And I don't think she realizes that a lot of people who will post her video are people who have been on the receiving end just because they look like they were doing good, but in fact they weren't. They were not privileged. They just looked like they were privileged because of the way they handled life. There is a lot of pros and cons that comes with privilege that sometimes people ignore. And I'm only using the word privilege because that's what she used. I don't even know what she means by that. Again, she never elaborated on her friend and whatever privilege she's talking about. A lot of people have privilege and they understand what the downsides of said privilege is, what it looks like, what it feels like, in a way that people from the outside do not understand. A lot of the people who call her out are not privileged. It's not just a specific group of people who responded negatively to her video.
When you are around people who basically have it better than you and you are surrounded by them all the time and they talk about their amazing life so often, it's hard to not feel those feelings of jealousy, and that is what I struggled with. I really wanted to talk about that and bring awareness to that because I genuinely think that people just perceive jealous people as like these hateful people. They hate everything, they hate everyone, they have bad intentions for everybody, they want everybody to fail, they want to bring everybody down to their level. I didn't hate my friend. Like, I did not hate my friend in the slightest. I was just jealous of what they had. I had wished that I could have what they had. We were both dealt very different cards in life. Feeling those feelings of jealousy doesn't automatically make you like a hateful person.
Her saying people have the impression that when you're jealous of someone, you do not wish nice things to them. I mean, you definitely don't wish them good, right? You don't want them to have good things. If you think they didn't deserve what they have, then that means there's a part of you that believes that they shouldn't be having what they have. This is why I believe that she should get some counseling so she can really understand this. Coming to the internet and just talking is just whatever. The self-awareness is there. It's just there's nothing, she's doing nothing with it. And then when she says, I was not jealous of my friend, I was jealous of what they had. To me, that's problematic because is she now confirming that she was just jealous of materialistic things? Or maybe her friend has so much love in her life that she didn't have. Remember when I said she should have went into details about who her friend was and what exactly her friend had? This is why. It sounds like she doesn't care about her friend as a person whatsoever.
I obviously recognized those feelings and I didn't like it. Like, those feelings were uncomfortable. They were negative. I didn't want to have to feel that way about my friend. My friend was a good person, like I said. But it really just comes down to like the circumstances of where you are at in life. Jealousy can definitely get to that level where it is hateful and they just genuinely do have bad intentions and they're putting all of this negative energy out there. It can definitely get to that level if you don't become self-aware, if you don't acknowledge that you do feel jealous. But the point of my video was that I struggled with those feelings because I knew that they were wrong. I didn't want to feel that way. And me not being friends with that person anymore is just like the most beneficial thing because it allows me to just kind of reflect on my own life and heal with my own feelings and just like not have their life kind of like thrown in my face. Because unfortunately, that just kind of was the case. Like, I really needed that person to be removed from my life. And I know a lot of people are like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that. But actually, the reason why this friend and I ended our friendship was because of something entirely different. It wasn't even because of the fact that I was like kind of jealous of them, but realizing that my life is better without them anyways because I had those jealousy issues, like that is a big part. A lot of people were telling me that I should have been channeled those jealousy feelings into like motivation to like do what they did. But again, I feel like a lot of people just missed the point of the video where I said they got handed like everything in life. They had a great deal of privilege. Like, they did not work for their life. So it's very hard to feel motivated when they didn't really do anything. And again, some people might not understand that. A lot of people are not going to understand this video either. Again, this is for the people that have felt this way. And I am very thankful that I did reach an audience of people that have felt these similar emotions. A lot of people have been DMing me really, really sweet things, been telling me their own personal stories about how they felt similar things and they felt horrible about it, but they weren't a bad friend and they still looked out for them. You can feel those feelings of jealousy without being like a horrible person. And I don't want the internet and the world to like think that like just because somebody might feel jealous, like, oh, they're horrible. So thank you to all the people that have been so kind and supportive in my comment section that have been telling me their own stories and telling me how they relate to that and they have struggled with similar feelings. A lot of people have been DMing me saying that, like, you know, like I've been making them feel so seen. They're so glad that like I'm having this conversation. I helped people feel less alone by talking about this. And again, if you are on the opposing end and you don't understand, obviously you're not going to say something nice and therefore you just shouldn't say anything at all because this is not about the other side of this. This is not for the people on the other side of this. To the people that are on the other side of this, that actually did give me some really supportive comments, thank you guys so much. I had a lot of people telling me that they were not the jealous friend, but it gives them some kind of like, it gives them an alternate perspective that they would have never considered before, and it helps them understand their friends a little bit better. And I am so thankful that I was able to help
people see that.
I really don't know how to feel about her continuously using the word opposing team, because when she says opposing team here and there, it just, she's thinking about it from an aspect of us versus them. She's not open to learning something. She just came here to rant, and she's willing to just stay there in the state of jealousy that she's in. When she says people have reached out to her and we're happy because they have a better perspective of what your friend could feel, the same amount of grace that those people have given her, the same amount of open-mindedness that those people have to understand her as a jealous friend, she doesn't have that same level of open-mindedness towards people who did not accept what she was selling.
Anyways, that is all I had to say about that video. Thank you to the people that understood me, that were uplifting me in my comment section. I really do appreciate it. I know what I put out into the world. I knew it was going to get like a weird kind of review. I knew that it was going to be very controversial, very mixed. I knew exactly what I was getting myself into by posting that. But I think the conversation was so important, and I'm glad that I talked about this. And I'm glad that I was able to find people that can relate to my feelings as well. It helped me feel less alone. Thank you guys so much again.
She was closed off. She didn't take criticism well, and she clearly doesn't care to heal from this. I don't know about you all, but that's what I got. And we have made it to the end of the video. So thank you all, for all of you who watch, especially for those of you who made it to this part of the video. I am very happy to have you all here. I am on a mission to post more this year. So stay tuned. Go ahead and subscribe. Why not? It's free. Go ahead and like the video and share it with somebody who you know would like the video as well. Again, thank you all. My name is Alexis, and I will catch you in the next one.